I wanted like 5 more minutes to prepare. But I haven't figured out how to do this live thing out of the way. It's been, how long have I been on YouTube? Years. 7 years? I don't even know, dude. Okay. It's fine. I'm basically ready. I was gonna prepare a little bit. You know how those news people, they do vocals? La 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 la. Going live is a lot more pressure than pre-recording, where I can cut stuff out and delete all my gaffes. Although lately I haven't been editing too much. Let's get the live stream going, or the live chat going. Okay. All right. Well, that was kind of unexpected. This is the second time now I'm trying to go live and I want to schedule it, and it just hits me with, "You're now live." Do you know how terrifying that is when you're not ready and it tells you you're now live? It's like, oh no. How's it going, y'all? Anybody out there? Anybody in the stratosphere? Anybody in the live chat? Takes a minute to update. Yeah, I was gonna make a video about some political stuff today, but then I thought, you know what? I haven't been going live in a long time. So, well, that's not true. I went live a few weeks ago, but sometimes it's fun to go live. Especially because I get to respond to people in the chat basically immediately. Although I don't know if it's working right now. Yeah, I might have to restart it. Can I get some kind of response out of anybody? Because I'm not getting any numbers showing up. Anyway, I was going to talk about the drone situation with Trump, saying that, never comment. Well, you broke your name. You commented. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very nice. Yeah, I was going to talk about the drones. All of a sudden they know what they are. That kind of pisses me off. I mean, we were told that they didn't know what they are. And then all of a sudden, they're like, "It's cool, guys. It was just us." So I just feel kind of lied to. And I'm just wondering, right? Because I've been on this rant about being an anarchist. I've been on this rant about being angry at the government. And I just wonder sometimes if they do this stuff on purpose. If they just want to piss us off on purpose. Because, they scared everybody. People were talking about it's China. And then they were saying specifically, they were like, "Oh, we don't know what these drones are." Which is scary as hell, because who else is supposed to know if not you guys, right? And now they're like, "No, we knew. We knew this whole time. We just lied to you." And so I just thought, well, what the hell? I mean, you guys want us to hate you. I mean, this is why we hate you. This is why we don't like you, government people, because you mess with our emotions. I mean, I wasn't really that nervous because I knew that it was them. I have a special antenna on my head where I can receive broadcasts from the aliens, and they tell me the truth. Why are you driving semis? Good news, Todd. I'm not. So, Trump won't release the Kennedy files. He's controlled opposition. Funny guy sometimes, though. Yeah, I don't know if he's... I think he wants to. I just don't think they'll give it to him. How hard will it be for them to hand him a file and be like, "This is all we have"? And then in their basement, they have a whole box of info or a whole section about the Kennedys. It just wouldn't be very hard for them to... I used to watch a lot more when you were driving semis. That's understandable. That's okay. Yeah. I had different kind of stuff. Where the hell have you been? Mike Pence? We got Mike Pence in the house, dude. Full name Michael. I knew it. I knew that was his full name. Um, well, I've been in San Diego to answer your question, Michael. I've been in San Diego, growing a mustache and long hair, and wearing ball caps, basically preparing to look like a redneck who's surviving the apocalypse. You know, tips for staying awake driving nights. I can't say it on here. The real stuff I can't tell you. um, talk to someone on the phone. Um, open the window. You know, fresh air. Stick your head. Well, don't stick your head out the window. That won't be very safe. Get some cold air. I heard nasal snuff works. Well, it not always drugs. You know, not always do you need. That's right. Both me and former VP are Michael. Yeah, and Pence, like your last name. You hear me? It's not just your first name. Hey, what's that? You got a mustache? Good mustache. You know, lately I've been noticing mustaches now that I have one. It's like a brotherhood. It's one of the few things the women can't take away from us. Although that's wrong. Now with all the pills that they're popping, they can also grow mustaches. So. But it's fine because guys took womanhood away by infiltrating the womanhood. So we're playing this game back and forth. What happened to the coffee store? We failed due to mistakes. You know, I'll take responsibility for my end in saying that I did not sell like I should have. I think it was like I just didn't take the business as seriously. I mean, granted, I was in my early 20s. This was like this was solid like 5, 6 years ago. And I was totally younger and stupider. And now I'm 30 and I'm very wise. Hence the stash, you know. This I squeezed this out as an emblem of wisdom, all the things that I've learned in my 20s. So what do you guys think? Well, don't feel too bad because we're teetering back and forth between getting it going again. It's totally up to Max now. I released my end. I released my half of the partnership. I was like, if Radburn Beans is gonna come back, it's yours. But I wouldn't mind helping doing some sales for him. But it's entirely up to Max now. So whether he decides to or not, I think he's thinking about it. He definitely still has all of the equipment, and you know, sometimes he roasts for fun, but he is not like officially operating. You know, but I think he's thinking about it. He's very busy. He has a great job. He works for the city. He's a supervisor. He makes decent money. So you know, he has a lot to juggle. He has family, so it's a lot to think about, and I think that he's probably considering it. You know, I don't want to speak for him though, so I can't say too much, but I would say I think he might be considering it. It would be cool to get back into it. I mean, I like coffee. Hell, I'm drinking some of his coffee right now from my favorite Yellow Submarine Beatles mug. Walking stick. I want to start roasting too. Well, it's easy. All you have to do is just pick out somebody's flaws and just talk that smack. Being a good roaster is not that hard. You see what I did there? What if you aren't allowed on phone? What do you mean by that? You and your bro should move to PA and start again. Boy, I was just thinking today about how Pennsylvania is the most dystopian of the states. Like Pittsburgh, it just seems like where American Depression lives. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for, man. You know, sometimes living in California makes you really cocky about how great the state is, even though we have our problems. But there's no reason why I should have crapped on PA like that. I apologize. And after you invited me, very undiplomatic of me. I would like to offer a formal apology to the state of Pennsylvania. You know, I'm quick to repent. That's one thing you guys will learn about me. Look how come the live chat keeps disappearing on me. I saw something about drinking Nestle. Wise, really? You're going to be incredibly smart by the time you get to my age, 65. Well, smart and wise are two different things. You know, you can be very smart, but not very wise at all. I drink Nestle instant coffee. I don't get all the fancy coffee jazz. Oh, Jamie. Well, okay. I don't want to be too douchey about it. So let me explain to you what all the jazz hands are about. Basically, it's an entirely different taste. Totally different taste. You know how your Nestle coffee, if you just drink it black, it tastes like death? You know, like it just tastes terrible. I mean, you don't have to argue with anybody. Everybody knows that instant coffee or something as low as Folgers, when you drink it black, we're not talking about adding anything to it, just black. It tastes like absolute garbage. Everybody knows that. It like offends your taste buds. You know, it almost burns them with this bitterness, right? So basically, the coffee that we used to sell, that Max still roasts, it doesn't have that offensive bitterness. It's very pleasant right now. I'm gonna take a sip right now. By the way, the title says we're gonna talk about politics, so we gotta move this along fast, guys. Bring coffee up when I talk about coffee. But when I take a sip here, this is black. It's on its way out, but I'll show you. You see that? Black coffee, so that you know that I'm not fronting. It's got it's got it's got flavor. It's got some fruity notes to it. It's got some berry. It's got some maybe some light chocolate, you know, nothing offensive. It's beautiful and it's very strong. Like this stuff cracks me out. If I have a full cup of this, it usually takes me like half a day to finish this. Because when I make my coffee, I make it very strong, you know. But it's a pleasure to drink. You don't want to stick your head under a faucet after having some of this, you know, coffee. So that's the difference. Is it just tastes incredible? um, we all live in a yellow submarine. Thank you. I will stay online. Just a bunch of sugar and half and half. Do you see what I mean, Jamie? You have to add stuff to it. You have to add like everything to it. That's like deport. Steve Resurrected says. All right, we'll get to it in just a sec. But just one quick thing about the coffee. It's kind of like fish and chips when it comes to English people. Like I have an English friend, and he tells me that he has to douse his fish and chips with like a half a liter of vinegar, you know, and it's like yeah, because it tastes like nothing. Your fish and chips taste like nothing. That's why. Okay, you can't be too proud of something that you have to douse in vinegar. Vinegar is basically a flavor destroyer. Why did you think of Trump's swimming comment? P.S. Love vibrant beans. Swimming? Did he say something? I remember in a press conference, one of the reporters asked him if he's gonna go out to the crash site, and he's like, "Where am I gonna go? In the middle of the water?" I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, but I haven't heard about his swimming. Uh, who killed Gonzalo Lira? I'm not sure who that is. Politicians are like instant coffee. Yeah. It's not even about politics. In 2025, it's divided between stupid people and those who see what's really going on. It's kind of scary. Well, yeah. I mean, this is how I see the fight between the left and the right. It reminds me of sports. I'm not a big sports fan because of how fanatical people get. Like people lose their mind over that stuff. You know, like I'm all cool with it being fun, but when it stops being fun and you're getting actually angry, I think at that point you're kind of going into the psychotic mode. And so when people do this with politics, I understand politics is more high stakes, like it actually affects our lives. But I this is where I don't see the difference between the right and the left. Like I think that people are on the all the way on the right, people all the way on the left are the same exact type of people inside of their temperament. Like they're sports fanatics. You know what I mean? They choose a side and then they make their entire identity about it. Like I don't understand how you don't disagree with some of the things on your side. How is that possible? Like you must disagree with your spouse. You must disagree with your kids, with your neighbors. How is it possible that you don't disagree with anything from your side? You don't disagree with anything from your side? You don't disagree with anything from the person you voted for? Like, how is that possible? I disagree with myself on a daily basis. How can you go completely issue by issue and agree with everything, whether you're on the left or on the right? How is that possible? It makes me think that you don't have the guts to think for yourself, that you're just going along with the program because it's easier that way. You can just turn off your brain and be like, yep, I'm with the red guys and I'm with the blue guys and I'm just going to believe whatever they say. You know, I don't want to be a jerk here, but like, I just don't get it. How is it possible that you don't have differing opinions with people on your side? I grew up in a church. Just about every single person in that church disagreed with some parts of the Bible. Like, we don't agree on anything. It's not possible. So when I see a large group of people agreeing on everything, I'm suspicious. I'm like, there's some kind of a mass hypnosis going on or something, you know? Yeah, walking stick. It kind of reminds me of being in a cult. And that's kind of how I saw even the churches that I grew up with. But even within those cults, people still disagreed. So it's like politics is even more of a cult, in my opinion. And that's why I go back and forth in my videos. Like yesterday, I posted a red video and a blue video on purpose in the same day within like 2 hours of each other. And if you go on the comments, you'll see people on the right and people on the left going against. And it's just, it's fine. I like to have those conversations, but it's like, aren't you guys the same way? Like, don't you have views that are both on the left and on the right? Like, and why is that not okay? Why am I a bad guy for having views like that? You know? What's crazy is the left actually believes this craziness. My sister-in-law really believes Trump is sending her to camp. Yeah, I talk to people who are citizens of this country but are immigrants like myself. Like, I'm a citizen. This is my citizenship form. Okay, it's the original form. So if there's a fire over here, this is gonna cost $600 to replace. But there are people who are legal immigrants that are citizens that are afraid of Trump deporting them. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Oh, hey, Dad, that's my dad, Vasily Aghi, the original. I'm the secondary. Actually, I'm the fourth. He is the number 3. He's Vasily Aghi the third. I'm Vasily Aghi the fourth. As far as we know, I still have to talk to my uncle. I have an uncle that's 90 something years old. My dad's older brother. And he knows the history of the Vasilis and how far that lineage goes. So I have to talk to him before he leaves this planet, because I need to know if I'm the 5th. But yeah, my dad's in the house. So yeah, my parents support me all the way on this stuff. Ever since I've started with my trucking videos, man, my parents were my first subscribers. They were commenting. They were my #1 supporters, and they still are. Throughout all the weird stuff that I'm experimenting with on YouTube, they're there, liking, commenting. Couldn't be happier with how supportive they are. But seeing all your content lately, it's been a while. If you don't remember me, I was friends with your cousin Vadim, and we met in Antelope. Joshua. Oh yeah, were you his neighbor? Cool, I remember you. Yeah, Ukrainian nobility, Piotr the Great, Peter the Great. Yeah. I don't think I'm nobility, dude. I'm straight from the village. I'm a country boy. Joshua, I remember you. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, I'm in San Diego now. Wow, this is crazy. I like your coffee biz videos and trucking videos. Yeah, I understand. I remember your cat Loki. Joshua, my cat Loki got probably eaten by coyotes here. He went missing, dude, like over a year ago. Oh, I can't even talk about it. I miss my beautiful cat Loki. He was like a dog. He would follow me around on like without a leash. I could walk him around the neighborhood and he would walk right next to me. Beautiful kitty. He was a tuxedo cat. He had quite the character. He was a badass. He went out on his own, and that's what got to him. He was used to going out on his own in Sacramento, and there's no coyotes there. And then he kept going out here, but over here there's a bunch of coyotes, and I think they got him. So that sucks, man. Loki was the dude. Loki was the guy. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the drone situation. You know, guys, I really like the alien stuff, and it kind of relates to the drones. But it was just fascinating to me how they kept telling us that they don't know what it is, and now they're not even admitting that they were lying. Now they're saying no, it was us. I don't know. All right, I'm kind of over it. How about Skinwalker Ranch? Yeah, I heard a lot about Skinwalker Ranch. You know, I don't have a lot of caution when it comes to these things. I would totally go to Skinwalker Ranch. Even though I hear all the stories coming out of it where anybody who goes there gets sick and all that, I would throw caution and I would go to Skinwalker Ranch. I think Skinwalker in here in this in that these are magazines back there. I would love to go over there and check it out. I love all things paranormal, you know, extraterrestrial, ghosts, goblins, fairies, geezers, whatever you want to call them. Any kind of abnormal things, I'm drawn to it. So I would love to check that stuff out. What about you guys? Do you have any interests that are kind of weird or even political? Let's talk politics, y'all. I'm really in the mood for politics. I don't know why. I just made this change this year. I think Trump coming into office has really got me fired up about politics. I didn't care at all when Biden was in office. I checked out completely because I had voted for Trump in 2020. So when he lost and Biden became president, I just lost all interest. I'm like, I'm not even going to follow what's going on. Oh, yeah, I love the Y Files. Dude, I love that channel. But a lot of things I noticed with the Y Files is that, like, he'll hook you with the story, and then at the end he'll explain to you why it's not real. And it's like, dude, I just spent half an hour being convinced that what you're saying is true, and then you're like, you flip it around and you're like, but this is why it's not true. So that kind of annoys me. Like, tell me the true stories. I don't care to hear about the myths that are proven to be not true. But yeah, he has a great channel. He has a high production value, and he's funny. Look at this Jew going live. Oh, what's up, All Might? Thanks for the heart, at least. Is it the nose? I'm very self-conscious about my Jewish nose. But like I always defend myself, it's like this because I broke it twice as a child. Pizzagate was real. Podesta emails were loaded with pedophilia and human trafficking stuff. Yeah, I heard about the Pizzagate stuff. Boy, that was that kind of got buried pretty quick, didn't it? We don't really talk about it much these days. A lot of these conspiracies, they kind of just come and go. Even though a lot of evidence comes out, people just totally forget and move on because there's so many of them now, right? Like there's like a new one coming out all the time. I started trucking in 18, made over 1880K in 1819. After Biden got in, I made 65. Yeah, tell me about it, man. No, I was just saying, didn't even notice your nose. Oh, I also have a big nose. I don't like my nose either, says Walking Stick. You know, a lot of us are self-conscious about our noses. Well, I'm just upset that I wasn't born like this. Like, life ruined it for me. And then there was a surgeon that I went to a few times as a kid in order to open it up because it was all like it's still, and he was like in his 80s and his hands were literally shaking, and he did 2 surgeries, and he ruined it. Like it's worse now. Like I can't breathe very well. It's like it's all clogged. It's inside. It's not a straight passage. It's all. So I got to get it worked on again, just so that I can breathe. I'm a mouth breather, as they say. Not a trucker, but the price of diesel fuel when Biden was president. So has diesel gone down? Because I haven't been on the road in years. Has diesel gone down with Trump already? Because I thought that would take a while. Makes me look like a cartoon. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing energy costs is going to take a while to go down before they start, drilling and all that kind of stuff. I understand it's not easy to fix these issues, like it's probably going to take some time, but I do feel slighted about the Ukraine war. Like, see, this hat is in support of the immigrants. If you guys want to buy this hat, it's on my website, VasiliAgi.com. I have a few other variations of it. I'm trying to raise money to support like some immigrants. I don't talk about it much because I don't like selling. Yeah, I feel really awkward doing it. But Trump still hasn't met up with any of them, and he said he was gonna stop the war the day that he got elected, and he still hasn't done much about it. So I don't feel good about that because that's one of the main reasons I voted for him. I mean, with the immigration or securing the border and the economy were also other issues, but him saying that he was going to stop the war in Ukraine is something that's close to me because I have relatives there. And so that was a big issue for me that I was hoping that he wasn't lying about. And doesn't look like he's been making many efforts there. I understand that he's busy doing other things, but it would benefit America too since we've sent all that money there. I'm starting to feel like it's not going to be anywhere on his list of things to do for a while. Which is fine, but like don't lie and say that you're going to get to it right away. It's just so that people will vote for you because then it makes you look like a liar just for the votes. Like why say that you're going to take care of everything on day one? You don't have to say that. What is your take on the war? I don't like it. I don't think we should be funding it. I think that the American or the Ukrainian people don't want to fight. I'm talking to people inside of Ukraine on an almost daily basis. They're not interested in fighting. They're not interested in going to war at all. They don't care for it. They don't want any part of it. They don't like their own government. They think that their own government is corrupt and that the money that's being sent there is being pocketed by the government of Ukraine. These are all things I'm hearing from people that are talking to me. Like the people on the ground in Ukraine, the citizens, they do not support the war. They don't want to fight. And they don't support Putin either. They don't like Russia. They see it as the same. It's the same gang of people on the Russian side and on the Ukrainian side. At the very top, the government, it's the same people. They're like the mafia. You can see it like that. They're like a professional mafia on both sides, and they steal all the money and they use the people as cannon fodder, and they don't actually care about the people. But the citizens, they don't want the wars. On either side, they don't want the wars. Although I can't speak too much of the Russian citizens because I don't talk to very many of them, but I do talk to the Ukrainian citizens, and they're being rounded up right now, like the draft, and if they don't agree to it, then they get beaten and tortured. And I know people that have gotten captured and have gotten tortured. I mean, it's lawlessness. It's complete lawlessness going on. I mean, there's like war crimes on levels that we haven't heard of since like Nazi Germany, kind of like in the camps kind of stuff. It's really dark. I'm thinking about making a video about it. It's just so dark. I actually have a ton of videos from Ukraine, but it's just so dark and heavy that I'm hesitant. What do you guys think? Should I make a video talking about exposing how the military is behaving? Because I got footage, dude, from the inside. But yeah, I'm hesitant to release it and to make videos on it because it's really dark stuff, you know, and I don't generally like to propagate darkness. I'll argue politics, but I don't like to get into the heavy stuff, and this is like torture kind of stuff, you know. So I do want to do it because it's close to my heart because people that I care about, but it's heavy, and I feel like a lot of Americans are tired of hearing about the war in Ukraine, so I'm hesitant to talk about it, but I would love to. I would love to. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it. I like your channel a lot. I will say I'm very impressed with your work ethics when you were driving. I would think, damn, this guy's a better work ethic than a lot of people his age. Oh, thank you, Texas Ranch Rocks. Yeah, I'd like to say I have a good work ethic when I'm focused. When it's something that I want to do, then I'm unstoppable. I mean, here I'll continue. I'll toot my horn. Uh, I would I would stay up the nights editing the videos while in the daytime I was driving. So it's basically like working two jobs. But yeah, it's when I like something, I will laser focus and do it like no one else. Glad to hear. I like your channel. We should bring Ukraine into the U.S. along with Canada and Greenland. Yeah, I think the Ukrainians would love to be a part of the U.S. Forget about European Union. Europe sucks, dude. No offense, but screw that. Walking Stick, I meant their military is abusing their citizens. Yeah, make a video. You were making good money driving. Yeah, I would say as a driver, yeah, there were months where I made like 7 grand, and this was like over 5 years ago, you know. So I would say that was pretty good. Yeah, as a driver with no responsibilities, yeah, I was really happy. My problem is that I was spending all of it. Got that nice GT Mustang. Got a really nice apartment with a fireplace. You know, when you come from poverty and you get some money, you just jump on getting all the stuff you always dreamed about. And that's I think what happened with me is instead of saving and investing, I just started indulging in all the things that I never had. My favorite state, Joshua, is California, but more specifically San Diego. It's America's finest city, and there's no place like that. The weather here year round is amazing. I think the people in San Diego are very friendly. I love it here so much. Walking Stick, I don't hate PA. I was joking. It just seems like it just just seems like a lot of people are depressed over there. I still watch you from time to time. Your trucking videos, one of my favorites is when you took a change at that crazy skier. Oh yeah, holy crap! That the dirty truck stop. That was the worst truck stop I have ever been to. It was horrible. It was so dirty. It reminded me of like, you know, those movies you see like in the old 70s, 80s movies. You see like the dirty truck stop, kind of like a stereotype of truck stops. That's how it was. It looked like Fallout. You know, some people play Fallout. It's like a post-apocalyptic game where you go into the bathrooms and there's like crap everywhere in the toilets. That's exactly how it was. Which companies did you drive for? I'm tired of driving automatic and want to do manual. I'm not gonna say their names because they were small, like mom and pop, kind of family owned. I don't know if they want to be blasted on YouTube. Um, but I would highly recommend working for a private company, not one of these big ones, because you can't. You know, in a small company, you can talk straight to the boss. You can make a deal with them about your pay, this and that, working hours, you know, conditions. You can negotiate with them a lot better. They appreciate hard workers a lot more, you know, things like that. So I recommend. Was there lot lizards everywhere you went? And so, two lot lizard questions. Ever been approached by a lot lizard? Yeah. So I've been working for since the olden days. This is here, I'll show you guys. This is a paper log, something that the young kids these days won't. This should go into the Museum of Trucking. It's a paper log. This is a legit paper log. Um, and I This one's dated 2016, so that's 9 years ago, and I was driving well before that already. Oh, I'm getting old. Yeah, I got my first license a decade ago, 10 years ago. Holy crap, that snuck up on me real quick, baby. So yeah, I did encounter a lot lizards, man. And let me tell you something, fellas. It's not anything that tempts you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It was not tempting at all. I'm talking like toothless crackheads and things like that. Nothing, nothing to write home about. Yeah, it was. It's really annoying, man. You're sleeping. It's like 3 a.m. and they'll be like doo, 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 knocking on your thing, and you don't know if it's a cop or whatever. So you're like, oh shit. And you go over there, and it's like, hey, baby, you want some company? Oh, and you're not gonna be mean. You're just like, no, go away. So yeah, I ran into plenty of lot lizards. In Vegas, they call them lobby lizards. Oh, yeah, I'm guessing because of the hotels. Yeah, there's nothing exciting about them at all, man. I don't know if it was different back in the day, but less teeth means they can fit. All right. Let's talk about the Northern California smelt. What is that about? Tell me more, Hollywood Saint. What do you mean about the Northern California smelt? What's that about? Is there a fire going on over there? I remember there used to be a bunch of fires when I used to live in California, or Northern California. Trump will get out of Ukraine, but everything we say we are sending goes through factories here paying Americans making munitions, cannon, etc. Yeah, I just don't appreciate how he was saying that he was going to do it right away. It's like he got me. That was one of the biggest reasons I voted for him. Not that I was going to vote for Kamala. I mean, I was probably going to vote for him anyway. I mean, there was just nothing about Kamala that appealed to me at all. Fish that took away the fire, water in the Palisades. Oh yeah. Oh right. Oh my God, can you imagine? Okay, I understand. I'm all about the ecology. Is that the word? I'm all about nature. Look, I got several nature magazines out here down there. I do hiking. I'm all about saving nature, but there's also like common sense, you know. I mean, if we don't have enough water and you're diverting it, especially if they were saying the fish exists, it's not like endangered actually. I don't know. I don't know enough about this fish situation, but it just seems like a really dumb reason to not have water. You know? Well, especially now we know what the consequences of that was. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating to me that the people that we elect can have such a massive impact on our fate. That is frustrating to me. Like, why do they have so much power? And it's hidden powers. They don't leave it up to a vote whenever they make massive decisions. Why do we give them the power to make such impactful decisions? Okay, let's compromise because I in the beginning of this month I was really all about anarchy, okay? But since I like to evolve, I'm willing to compromise. Let's say let's at least reduce their power. Okay, they have too much power. If they should not be able to ruin our lives like this. Okay, we're going to vote people, but they should be doing like regular paperwork stuff, like small day-to-day decisions. Okay, you can have that. But when it comes to massive decisions that impact our lives like this, they should not have the power to be making these decisions without asking us first. I mean, isn't that the whole how a representative government is supposed to work, right? We hire representatives so that they will do our bidding. But within a 4 year period, how am I supposed to know what kind of decisions they're going to make? Okay, I voted for Trump, but that doesn't mean that I'm saying every single decision that you make going forward I agree with, and you can just have the power to do whatever you want. Like, no, dude. He changes his mind, I change my mind. So if there's really big decisions, then he needs to ask us. Just because I voted for him doesn't mean he can just do whatever, make whatever decisions he wants, and I'm going to support that. And it's, yeah, exactly. It's not just the president, Kerry. It's like in the case of LA, it was like city council, it was city level governments that were screwing up, and state level government officials that were screwing up. So it's just on every level. Like we vote these people in, and we say, okay, this guy's gonna do what I want, and then they go and do a bunch of other stuff that we never voted for. This is not a good system. This is not a good system. Too much power. And then we don't check in on them. Like, hey, what are you up to, buddy? Because I didn't know that they were diverting water to save a fish. It's not like they tell us, hey guys, we're gonna make this decision. They just do things in their offices behind everybody's backs. 35 million Californians are busy going to work, going to school. They don't know what these guys are up to behind their closed doors. And then you find out later, when half the city gets burned to the ground, that they've been making these stupid decisions that nobody even knew about. You know, this is all wrong. This is all totally wrong. This is not how it should be, man. It sucks that it takes disasters for us to realize that these people are dumb and way too much power. I'm talking hyper democracy. No, I'm saying, you know, a republic means you elect people to make decisions. Yeah, Jamie, but I'm saying, can we have a compromise between how much power, how many decisions? Like, do you want them to make all of the big decisions, or can we give them the ability to make some decisions, and then the big ones would go, okay, you have to ask us before you make the big decisions. What's wrong with that, Jamie? Why does that sound unreasonable to you? You know, why would it be unreasonable for them to put the big decisions up for a vote? I'm not saying they have to bother us every weekend and be like, here's a list of things we want to do next week. No, let them do their job, you know, delegate some of that power to them. But when they start screwing up like this, I think we have to realize we got to rein back some of that power. We got to take it back, baby. We can't trust you guys. Y'all ain't competent enough to do these things. So maybe we should lean, if it's a spectrum between representative republic or whatever it's called and a democracy, maybe we should start leaning more towards democracy and voting rather than representative. Like, I think we're too far in trusting our representatives right now, and we need to take away some of that power from the representatives and lean more towards voting for more stuff. You know, does that make any sense? I mean, are you guys happy with your politicians? Like, to everybody that's defending them, are you actually happy with how they're doing? I don't want them to make big decisions, but whoever would push what you're talking about would end up committing involuntary. Why do you say that? I never voted for that. All the people coming to the US legally follow the process to enter. Yeah, I agree. I made a video recently about saying that it's wrong to round up all the immigrants, but that doesn't mean that I'm saying that we should allow them to come here legally. You know, I think we should absolutely enforce the border, but I'm saying now that they're here, the ones that are already here, since they're already here, why not repatriate them and assimilate them and make them legitimate, and then they're going to contribute to the society. Like, it would make the country better. What happened to the coffee business? It didn't work out, but we still have all the coffee beans in the coffee roaster, so we have fun with it. Now I do politics. It's just something that I think is fun. You know, I would like, our system isn't set up to assimilate them anymore. Yeah, walking stick, I agree with that. And I think that's a dang shame. I think we're missing out on some contributors because a lot of the immigrants start more businesses than people who are born here. I think that's a well known fact. Like, immigrants are business owners and business starters. because we have that fire. We still remember how bad it was in the old country, and we come here and we're like, no way, you can just do things here. The government won't like shake you down. So like, don't underestimate the power of the immigrant, dude, to bring up your economy. But we have to like find a way to have a legitimate process so that they're not illegal. Excess immigrant drive wages down. You know, I don't actually believe that. I don't actually believe that. I think they're doing jobs that we don't want to do anyways. You know. And then even if that's true, that that doesn't have to do with the workers. It has to do with the companies that employ them. You know, like crack down on the companies who employ them and make them pay them higher. We have a minimum wage for that reason. It's the companies that are employing them, they're not following the laws either. So don't blame it on them, blame it on the companies. Supply and demand. Yeah, I hear you. I just think that more people equals a bigger economy than less people. That's a very simple mathematics that works in my head. You have more people, you have a bigger economy than less people. And we could use more people. I don't know if you guys know this, but China is at like 1.5 billion almost. Make kids collect fruits and veggies again, good old days. Rama. No, I wouldn't support that at all. Yeah, no, I wouldn't support that. Anyways, well, we tried it, and I think it went well, guys. We had some political discussions here, and they were very respectful. You know, my biggest mission on here, guys, is to learn how to talk about topics that are touchy in a respectful way. Oh, Matt, cool, man, me too. Um, learn how to talk about politics in a way where we don't kill one another. That would be nice. So to me, actually, the actual topics don't matter as much as the fact that we're able to have discussions in the first place. That's more important to me. Crazy how this didn't get ugly, as they say. Talking about politics will start a fight. Yeah, see, I'm rejecting those old school rules. You can't talk about money. You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics. Okay, boomer. That's like saying, "Oh, take my wife." This is an old school thing. I don't believe that. I'm rejecting that. Why can't you? You really? Are you a child? You can't handle a big boy conversation without getting mad? Like, let's change that. Okay, maybe it's true for some people, but let's challenge that. You know, you don't want to grow out of that nonsense. That should be embarrassing. You should be embarrassed if you can't have a political discussion without completely having a meltdown and losing your mind. You should definitely be embarrassed about that. If there's anything you should be embarrassed about, it's not being able to handle an adult conversation. So that's kind of more important to me. That's why I'm doing this with the channel. I'm really enjoying the comments because I go in there and I talk and I read all of them and I try to respond to some. I don't respond to all because sometimes it's too much. But that's my favorite part is the fact that we can talk about these things and still remain at some level of civility and respect because I think that's how we fix these problems going forward. It's not whether we agree, but it's whether we're able to even talk about it. That's what will give us the solutions is the conversation. Thanks, guys. Anyway, ATF needs to be dismantled. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I've been on the road already entire month. Can't imagine what a paycheck might be. Oh, dude. Hats off to those old days. I used to be on the road for like 3 months at a time. Yeah, that's rough, man. Good luck to you. And I would say eat healthy and exercise so that you can keep your mind in a good place. Because those are the two things that ruined my nervous system is that I did not exercise and I ate the most horrible gas station food imaginable, and then I followed it with coffee and cigarettes and candy. Still keep the coffee, occasional chocolate, but no more smoking. It was like immediate. I would come home, no smoking, but as soon as I sat behind the wheel of the truck, immediate, like the next stop, I'm buying cigarettes. It was like, I don't know, it's like a switch flipped in my head. As soon as I get behind the wheel of a truck, it would be like right away, like, oh, okay. Me and Dan, my cousin Dan, we used to have these watches, like, those Samsung watches that have the heart rate monitor. And he showed me this. He's like, what I noticed as soon as I sit on the driver's seat, I'm not even driving. The truck could be parked, but as soon as I sit at the driver's seat, heart rate goes up by like 10 points. And that was crazy because I went and I tried it. Sure enough, as soon as I sat behind the wheel, heart rate goes up. It's like the body's already like bracing, for their stress. So, hence the sugar and the caffeine and the nicotine. So yeah, just try to take care of your nervous system. I think that'll be the biggest factor to not burning out. Especially if you're doing a month at a time, dude. You really, really have to take care of yourself. I do only water on the road, my one rule for myself. Yeah. All right, guys, we're getting up to an hour already here almost. So I think I'm gonna dip. Just wanted to see if we could have a live conversation about politics, and it went really well. So thank you guys for being cool and respectful. And I'd like to do this more in the future. More, political discussions. So thank you very much. I'm going to continue posting videos about politics. That is what this channel has now become. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the comment section. Once again, if you like this hat or if you want others like it, go to my website, vasiliaki.com, and I'm going to try to help some Ukrainian refugees if I can. It's my people. I have to do something. And then I started Patreon. So if you guys want to support me on patreon.com/VasiliAgi. And hope you guys have a fantastic day. And talk to someone today about politics without becoming disrespectful. That's my challenge of the day. Have a political conversation. Go for it. Let yourself indulge in that political conversation, whether at the bar or at home or with your neighbor. Do it. State your opinions and see if you could do it without being a douche. Cheers.